Hi, and welcome to my channel at Bunny Hollow Crafts. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to make a really fun pocket using a die in a different way. Let's get started on the dog book. The first thing I want to do is the inside cover. So I'm going to have to make a base for that. So since our album is 8 by 8, I'm going to cut this at 7 3/4 by 7 3/4. And then I'll mat it in black. Let me double check myself. Felt like I did that wrong. 7 3/4, 7 3/4. Okay. So I'll mat this in black, and then we're going to build a simple pocket and put on it. Let me grab some other paper. I'm going to cut the piece of black cardstock with you with the Fisker's blade. Remember I said it could get woolly on the sides? We're just going to test this together. This is not a new blade, but relatively new. That looks pretty good actually, but by the time I got through the whole album, it would be a mess. Where's my other marker? There it is. All right, so I'm happy with that. All right, well, there it is. Starting to see the little woolly edges. It may be hard for you to see, but they are there. All righty. News in Texas today. More snow, more ice. And they're just getting ready to see the fun of it because once it all thaws, yeah, pipes will burst. So prayers for all of that. We have a house there too, and we are not on edge because we've got insurance and we're older. We know stuff happens. All right, so I'm just going to, if my glue will come out, and it won't. It only sat here overnight. Well, there it comes, sorta. Squeeze it hard enough. Can I break through it? No, she cannot. Okay, I'm gonna go unclog and I'll be back. Okay, she's working. I tried it under hot water, I tried it under cold water. I thought I can just get this done, right? Nope. Poured that little bowl of water into a pan that was on the stove, turned it on, and went and played the piano. I'm learning Lion Eyes from the Eagles. Oh, it's so fun to do. Okay, and so yep, the boiling water is the trick. It just is the trick. You'd think putting it in the freezer would help, but I just needed speed. I needed to get this done. Okay, we're looking good. Okay. Alrighty, so I will build my pocket. This page will just go right onto the front cover, inside cover. And so let me find some paper and we will build a nice pocket. Okay, we're working on the pocket. This is just an 8.5 by 11. I haven't matted that down yet. Actually, this is our base page. This is our base page. So I've just marked a mark. It's a 1/2 inch, and I'm laying that mark on my base page where I think I want it to fall. And so I'm going to make another mark over here, and I know that's where I want to score, not cut. I want to score right there, because we need a flap to be able to fold back and create our pocket, right? So again, this is just a full sheet. We'll trim it later. I'm going to move in just a little bit because my mark wasn't right on the edge or right at a number. That'll be fine. So now we have to bring in the trimmer. This is just the Becky way. I'm going to put this mark, the score mark, at a 1/2 inch on my trimmer. Right there. And cut, which will leave me a flap to fold under, right? Okay. We're also going to have to, let's just go ahead and fold it back so we can see what we're working with. We're going to have to trim the bottom, and we have to decide how big we want our pocket to be. And I kind of want it pretty big. I want to fit some pretty decent sized documents down in there. So I'm thinking somewhere like there. So I'm going to take my pencil and mark at the bottom, pull out the scoreboard, and score that, because that's where we need to fold a flap, right? And that, I'm just going to put it wherever I think it falls. It doesn't really matter. It happens to be 6 1/4. Now I'm going to bring in the scoreboard, or the cutter, and I'm going to put the score line on a 1/2 inch. Which will cut my flap. Okay, we can put all of these away. Ah, I'm having a collision on my desk. Okay, let's fold that. Fold this, the bottom. We're gonna have to trim our corners out. You just trim across where the score lines meet. Doesn't have to be too pretty. It's all gonna be folded under. So it'll give you a nice corner. So I'm gonna erase my pencil mark. I see that's still obvious. So that is our pocket. All right, I really wanted to cut a 1/2-inch circle out of here, but I want to mat it with black, and I want the same little border. That's just me. And then I'm going to want the same out of my pattern paper. Too much math, I'm not going to fool with it. I probably will take a decorative edge because I just feel like it needs something. So let me look and see what I have. I've pulled out my Big Shot Plus, and I've either found something that's going to be an epic win or an epic fail. I found this die in my stash. It's just a curved heel. It has these little notches in it. I'll put the notch there and the notch there. If I can get it to work. Did a minute ago. Sort of eyeball the middle. Slide it down. Play with it. See if that looks more like the middle. I think I went too far. Let's try there and there. Okay, I think that could be very cool for having our opening edge. I'm going to run it through here and we'll see what happens. Hold it carefully as I'm getting my plate in, although it's kind of hooked. All right, let's see what happens. This thing is big, but I love it because you can use, you know, the longer pieces of paper. So let's just kind of hold that there for the reveal. Let me get rid of this. All right, let's see if this worked. Well, yes and no. The pretty edge is here that it cut off. See? But that is kind of gentle and nice for an opening. So I clean it off and we'll mat stuff. I kind of like it. And boy, didn't it flatten out my those are nice, nicely folded, right? I didn't burnish those that well. Okay, I'm gonna put that on there. And then when we decorate it, we'll worry about that then. I'm gonna go ahead and glue it down. I've backed and forth trying this idea. I'm just going to use my wet glue and just glue on the tabs. I changed my setup today. I moved my table to the middle of the room. Yep, that means I have shelves behind me with my stuff on it, and where it was, I was running out of space. So this is kind of nice. I can reach right behind me to my papers. All right, we'll let that dry really good, and then we'll come back and we'll put some decorative paper on it. Okay, here we are trying things again. Gonna mark where I would want that to fall, right there. And I'm going to cut there, and I'm going to mark here, and cut there. And we're going to see if we can cut with that same die and get a good result. So there, and right there. Okay, so that will fit on there. So let's pull out the die. This should work. That's all I'm saying. It should work. Let me pull up my big cutter thingy. Okay. Let's hook this on this paper similarly to as we did with the other one. Put the plates in here. So that's ready. And I have something to lay this down on. So I'm going to hook that notch. See the notch? I'm hooking the notch in the paper. And I'm just eyeballing where the middle is. Which I really want to get pretty right because you're going to be putting it on here. Can I tell where it goes by putting it on there? I think that's, I'm going to cut it and see what happens. If it's wrong, you know, we're just playing around. Okay, somehow I lost the audio to my video. I don't know what happened, but I did trim the bottom edge, and it's still not perfect. A way to get it perfect, I think, would be to measure that white paper, which I think was, I don't remember at this point, but get the middle and just draw a pencil line. And then that would give you where your middle, you'd come a lot closer anyway, right? So this was a really fun find. I tried this with several methods today to make an envelope, and I just thought I fit on it. Okay, so that piece went in the trash, but that is a really beautiful die, but I've never used it this way. That was fun. I'm going to go through the same drill here, mark it where I want it to land, mark it down here where I want it to land. And I'm going to trim that out. Where did it meet? Over there. I'm going to try to not cut everything. Somewhere by that orange bowl. Okay. And then, yeah, there's our orange bowl with the mark. Hopefully I cut down far enough. I did. There we go. And we saved, in case we need a longer piece. You know, I don't like to cut it all up. All right, now the fun. All right, let's dry fit. That's gonna do it. Let's put this die. Oh, I don't want to cut off bark. The dog is home. I kind of like that, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hitch that in there and that in there. Can we get lucky 3 times in a row? I've never done this before. I think I want it to slide over just a little bit more. This is intricate, and you guys might not want to do this, but wouldn't it fun to figure these things out, because you could use it in other albums, right? Like this. Okay, I'm going to go with that. I still think it might need to be pushed down a little because it seems to be... Okay, I'm going with that right there. I'm going to grab a piece of washi to put it down just in case it moves, because this is our pattern paper and I don't want to waste it. Okay, I cut it, ran it through the die cutter. I'm pulling it out so we can see what we got. Did this work? Peel that off gently. And here we go. I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh, I love it when a plan works. Okay, being me, I'm going to trim off the bottom edge just a skinny little bit. But I'm excited. I discovered something new. I love that. So using a die that's in a way it wasn't meant to be used. I've never seen anybody do that with it. I don't know. I was just trying to see what works. And because I wanted to use my punch, my circle punch, and you know, show them the little that it opens, but I couldn't get the math to work out. But that took the math out of it, and I love it. I'm going to glue that down. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. This is really cute paper. This one, I don't know the collection. Let me see. Oh, this is My Dog by Echo Park. I don't have a dog. And if I'm being honest, I'll say I'm happy about that. My kids all have dogs and they love them, and dogs seem to be ruling the world. So I thought a dog album might be really helpful to somebody. And I may even put pictures in here of my kids' dogs. Laurel just got a puppy. It's a little dachshund named Sebastian. He's so cute, and I'm glad he's hers. And I love it when he visits. But the day-to-day upkeep of a dog, and those kids in Dallas having to take the dogs out and all this mess, I do not, wish that was me. All right. Thank you for joining me. I had no idea it would work out this way, and it was fun to figure out something different. All righty, we'll get back to the pages in the coming days. You guys have a great day.